it is about that time. Hello, my friends. Hello. It is Friday, June 15th. June 15th? March, April, May, June. Yes. Yeah. June 15th. I know my months. How dare you even suggest that I don't? Welcome back to the TeamEmmsie podcast. I'm so glad that you made it. Look at you. I'm so glad that you're here. I see you, chat. I see you down there. I see you. You are a valuable part of this podcast, chat. And we love you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much for tuning back in. We've got a great show today. We have just an amazing streamer of the week. If you are in TeamEmmsie, you probably already know MJ. I don't even need to hype him up. I mean, MJ is just one of the nicest guys, one of the most supportive guys. Really super stoked to talk about him. We've got a fantastic clip montage that Phoenix Ryan put together. I'm not gonna lie. There have been times when I'm watching the clip montages where, I'm like, oh, that one makes me laugh, and then the next clip I'm like, oh, it was, amusing. Okay. This clip montage, literally every single clip when I watched it made me kind of chuckle or laugh out loud. So I'm really happy for that. On the note of clip montages, though, listen up, gang. Listen up. Phoenix Ryan has asked me to let all of you know, if you've got some clips during the week, make sure you throw them in the clips section of the TeamEmmsie Discord, or if you can't see that, just go ahead and direct message Phoenix Ryan. He wants to make sure that he's getting as many clips in there as possible, and trying to spread out to as many members as possible, and not always using the same people. So, again, if you've clipped someone else in TeamEmmsie, or you've got a clip of yourself, throw it in the clip section in Discord, or, just direct message Phoenix Ryan. He doesn't mind. He loves getting your direct messages. He loves it. And then, after the clip montage, Phoenix Ryan and D-Bach are going to be talking about something that has come up a couple times lately in the TeamEmmsie Discord, which is talking to yourself when chat isn't popping off. When there's really nothing going on in chat, how do you keep the conversation going? How do you keep talking to yourself? It's a topic that's come up quite a bit, so I think D-Bach and Phoenix Ryan are going to be able to really hash that out a little bit and maybe provide some valuable tips for you. So, without any further ado, how about we jump into the Streamer of the Week section with our amazing, our fantastic, our wonderful Streamer of the Week, MJ! Yay! Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Good to hear. You look chipper and you're smiling. I mean, this is great. Oh, show me those dimples. Show me the. Oh yes, that's tremendous. Perfect. Darling, you look beautiful.
MJ, listen. Congratulations on Streamer of the Week, and everyone here knows that you deserve it. But let's address the elephant in the room before we go any further. Uh-oh. Why are the other mods calling you a traitor?
Well, we were just in a Skype call, private one with camera, and we were just having fun. So I had to leave them for you guys.
A private one with camera?
Yes.
Private?
Yes, very private.
But now you're here, and now they're here. You're not a traitor. You just had to shift venues for a minute, guys.
Oh, it's not my fault.
All right, listen, Nutella. No open bobs on Twitch. That'll get people banned.
Yes. Oh, oops. Sorry. Oh, close your bobs, MJ. Close your bobs.
There's a reason why we had to crop so tight on his face, because
it's just look at it. It's just like filling that frame too. It's just so.
Yes.
Well, I could sit further back, but.
No, come back. We love it. We love it. Oh.
Totally up to you. Yeah, so I was asking MJ before. I go, what do you want me to put on there? MJ, MJVP? He goes, MJ or John. I go, I'm going to go MJ because that's what I call you.
Some people also call me Arnold. That's because of my previous name.
Your previous name? So now I haven't heard anything about this. Did you go by a previous alias before you went by MJ?
Before I had MJVP94, I always used to go on like Steam, etc. as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Did you really?
Yeah.
All right. He's going to pop you up.
Oh, yes.
Oh man. So how did MJVP come along then? Because are they your initials?
Yes, they're my initials.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to change, so that's when I came up with JVP.
Gotcha. I assume then that you were probably born in the realm of January 1st to December 31st of 1994. Is that a correct assumption? Okay.
No,
all right. You're cutting in just a little bit.
We're still getting your cutting up. Maybe move the mic a little closer to your mouth.
The 9th of November.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, very cool.
Now you guys... You know, it's so... Can I just tell you something?
Go ahead.
I graduated high school in 1996. So whenever I hear that, when I'm like, wait a second, 94, that can't possibly be the year he was born. But then, like, yeah, that's how old I'm like, wait, that would be... Oh, yeah, no, that would put him in his 20s. Yeah, no, I guess that does make sense. I'm just old.
You graduated when I was 8 years old, Rev.
I know! Shut up, I'm old! I get it.
Oh, man. So MJ, you've been with TeamEmmsie for a while. People know you. A lot of people who tune into your streams already know your streams. For those of you for those in the chat who don't know your streams, tell us about what you like to play.
Well, as most people, I am a variety streamer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love to play like Rainbow Six Siege, Battle Royale games like PUBG, Fortnite, Ring of Elysium.
Okay.
Of course, there's a new Realm Royale. I haven't really played it much yet, but I'm planning on playing it more.
I've seen a lot of people starting to play Realm Royale.
It's quite new.
Yeah, it is. Is that free to play, or do you have to buy it?
It is free to play, just like Ring of Elysium and Fortnite.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Excellent.
Well, next to those games, I also like to play Rocket League, or as my latest streams, almost all of them were Conan Exiles.
Oh,
Dog
yes,
slider. Okay. Sorry.
Nice.
So everybody wanted to see a big peen, of course.
Of course.
Oh, duh. I mean, you look at that and you're just like, man, he's got to wrap that sucker around his thigh or like tuck it.
You know, there's a tactical advantage to choosing a big dong versus a small dong, right? Like, small dong, you figure, well, that's less that could possibly get bitten by a crocodile or sliced by a bad guy. But, you know, there's an intimidation factor to the big one. You know, you come charging into combat with a, you know, big two-handed sword and...
You've already got your bat with you.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, there's got to be some sort of factor there. I mean, they wouldn't have put it in the game otherwise.
Well,
yeah, maybe.
I do have to wonder, though. I mean, how many people have really lost a fight by showing off their dong? I mean, somebody's ready to square up, and you just drop trow, and you're all there in your glory. And what? Why are you holding? What? Did I say something?
How did we get here only 8 minutes into the podcast? How did we get...
We were talking about dong sliders, so...
Can I just point out that we're 8 minutes into the podcast, and we're already talking about the tactical advantages of the size of your penis? What is wrong with us as people?
Well, I do it daily.
There it is, kids. Pack it in. That's the podcast. We're good. I mean, all right. So you like to play a lot of those games. Now, a lot of those games do have a multiplayer format, you know, especially the battle royales. Do you spend a lot of time playing it like in your Discord with friends, or do you play solo primarily? What's the format that you like to work with best?
I prefer to play with friends because I actually hate to play solo.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, yeah, it's easier to fill the gaps that way. It's more fun when you have friends to play with. I mean, I've been able to enjoy playing with friends a little bit more in recent times myself, so I can definitely appreciate the advantage. When do you usually stream?
Well, it's actually quite different. Also, I don't have a schedule.
Okay.
Well, usually when I stream, it's during the day or during the evening. Like European time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
actually yesterday I got back into the streaming again after like 9 days off.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it felt good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. That is absolutely for sure. What time is it there for you now?
It's 10 minutes past 2 a.m. already.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
whoa,
late
so
for
you're
MJ.
Yeah, 6 hours ahead. Holy moly! From us, for me,
Fuck.
it's
Time.
yeah. For me, it's 2010 right now.
Yeah,
So
we've got some European players in chat who are like, yeah, no, it's that time for us too. You guys just start the podcast late. I know.
sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry.
we could start it an hour early, maybe, if we could get everybody on board.
I mean,
but
even then, that's it's. But so I'll just tell you, John. It's been a constant debate. Now, as you know, a lot of the leadership and mods in TeamEmmsie are European time, but we do have a large number of people in TeamEmmsie who are also West Coast, and we've got people on the other side of the planet. Like our streamer of the week 2 weeks ago was Steffi Bunny. She was in Malaysia, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I think. So we are a, all around the globe spanning team, and it's impossible to sort of lock in that right time, for the podcast.
mm-hmm.
I guess you just got to kind of do what's best. You know what I mean? Wait, Dauntlick says you guys were late? We weren't late, were we?
Nah.
Yeah, no, I clarified just to say, like, no, it's a late time frame for the folks over in the UK or across the pond and whatnot. But there's a lot of thirst in the chat there for you, John. I think there's some ladies who would love to get a piece of that action, my friend.
I know.
Yeah, I bet you do. Look at that shit-eating grin you got there, my man.
And not just the ladies. Look at Ryan wants to see some twerking.
Ooh, so how much time do you spend twerking on stream?
0.
I'm pretty sure there's probably a clip or two that would say otherwise.
Well, if I'm right, no one has clipped my statement. So
if there's no proof, no one needs to know.
delete the VOD.
All right.
Oh man.
This is going back to what I said during the intro. If you have a clip of MJ twerking, please send it to Phoenix Ryan.
Please send it. We want to see this.
We all need to see it. Everyone needs to see MJ twerking. Right? I'll just jump back in with what you just said. You did have to take a little time off. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'll just go ahead and say it. MJ had to deal with a sickness in his family. If he wants to go into any more details than that, he can. But he was so super supportive that he was actually voted Streamer of the Week by the leaders, and then I contacted him, and he let me know what was going on. He's like, this is just, I can't do it right now. This is just hitting me, blah, blah, blah. So he said, no problem. You let us know when you're ready. And I think that was, then we jumped on Phoenix Ryan, or maybe that was actually Steffi Bunny and then Phoenix Ryan, and waited for him to be ready. But Coyote also took like about a week and a half off, right? Very recently for some personal issues. So you guys both have that. Here's a question I'm going to ask the both of you. Maybe you can compare and contrast. When you're dealing with these issues that really affect your real life and really bring you down, and you're in a bad emotional place, and you just know that it's not a good time to stream, is it, or was it very liberating and good for you to get back into streaming? Did it help you out to get back into streaming?
For me, it did. Like, I still wanted to support, of course, get my mind off things, and yeah, just being in other people's streams kept me going.
Yeah, I resonate with that quite a bit, even during the period of time where I took my week and a half hiatus as well. For me, the whole situation, like, I couldn't function as a human being. There was no way for me to be able to perform in any meaningful manner on stream, which is sad and unfortunate, but is just the truth. But there was, for me, there were a lot of community members who grounded me and were talking with me, kind of coaching me through it and listening to what was going on in my situation. So that when I came back, even though it was kind of a grueling pace for me to put one foot in front of the other, when I came back, the support was so overwhelming. I couldn't help but feel thrilled at the amazing support and encouragement and thoughtfulness of the people who came to my side. That when I came back, I felt like, man, I can do this again. I can do this, and I can do this well and provide something meaningful. I was really happy to come back.
Yeah.
I like to call it stream therapy for a reason, because for me, and John, I want to hear your thoughts on this after I get through this. But for me, when I sit down and I start streaming, like, I could have a bad day and I see those people come into chat, and it's not because like, oh, I've got all these people in my chat. It's because of who those people are. They come in, they support me, they share their love. They're incredibly positive and loving and kind and supportive and there to be friends with you and whatnot. For me, that's what makes my streaming worthwhile. Did you experience that same sort of thing when you came back, or was there another reason that you felt when you came back that you were like rejuvenated?
Well, of course, I wanted to stream when it all was happening, etc. But I also felt like I was being sad, I was being a bit down. So I also didn't want to bring over that mood to the viewers.
Right. That makes sense. So you didn't want to provide a stream that was not the best you, and you didn't want to drag that down. So instead of providing lackluster content, you came back when you were feeling ready. But when you came back, what was your feeling at that point in time when you got back into it? Were you nervous at first, like trying to get back into it, or did it just like all fade away and you were just back in the zone?
At first, was still a little bit nervous, but it went quickly away when people joined in, started talking, just the whole interaction itself.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, I'm glad that it was positive.
Yes, it was.
I've never taken more than 2 days in a row off myself. In the last year, I can't relate to that. But I will say that in some of the most difficult times that I've gone through in personal history since I started streaming, I know that for me, just getting on stream and getting that going live, and even if I don't even have a great day streaming, that sense of having that what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like not a schedule, but just having that, okay, this is what I do this now, I do this now. It really helped me bring my mood back around. So when you're talking about stream therapy, I think that even those of us who haven't taken long breaks can definitely know what you're talking about, definitely feel that. And I'll just say this, MJ. I can only speak for, the people that I've talked to, but I know there's so much love for you personally. Anytime your name ever gets brought up, everyone's like, first of all, everyone knows you. And second of all, everyone's like, oh, I love that guy. So,
Well, I think it's a testament to the fact that he's gone through some hardship lately. And John, you came back and, still you're here, you're hanging out with us, even if it may be like in the back of your mind, this whole situation, like you're smiling, you're engaging, you're just as much you as you ever have been. And it's so cool to see you come back. I don't know if you feel that you come back stronger or not, but, a lot of times you think, well, you face these hardships, and then after you face the hardships, you grow more and you become stronger in your resolve. And I'm really grateful to be talking with you now.
Yeah, of course, it's always difficult, but every time you get a bit more, you get a bit stronger every time. It's still difficult because you keep like falling down.
Yeah.
You also keep getting up. That's the most important.
And do you feel again? Absolutely, 100%. When you're going through a hard time, it's not those hard times that define us, but how we survive. So when you came back to streaming, do you now feel that like streaming has been a grounding element for you, has really helped you continue picking yourself back up when you have those days?
I think it is, yes.
Good. That's awesome. Well, you'd hate to lose you. I mean, you know, that shining face.
I think I was just talking to Coyote about this a few days ago too. I mean, I firmly believe that the trials and tribulations that we go through in our life are what make us strong. I say it's like playing a role-playing game. If you're playing Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger or any of those games, you don't start out the game and immediately go and be able to beat the end boss. You have to, you have to get into a lot of fights, and you have to lose. You're probably going to lose a couple times, and you have to reload and pick yourself back up and keep going. But those experiences are what make you stronger. That's the way you have to look at this, right? I believe that's the way you have to look at that. I mean, Felix isn't here, so he's not going to make fun of me for it. But that's the reason when I got my tattoo, it's a 1. People are like, why'd you get a D20 tattoo and not get a 20? I go, because when you roll a 20, it doesn't teach you anything, right? It doesn't actually... You don't learn anything from success. You learn from failure. Like that's where the strength. That's where you build your strength. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
I don't know. Oh God, that question. Oh, don't Lex.
I saw that pop up in chat, and I'm just like, oh.
Well, it's not.
Here we go.
It's not the shower question, at least. Go ahead, Coyote.
Not yet. Not yet.
So, you've never peed in a pool before? Never once.
I did.
Okay, all right. So yes, you've peed in a pool.
When I was little. But like,
okay.
It's been a really long time since I've been into a pool, actually.
Well, I mean, it's. I would rather somebody pee in a pool than shit in the shower and then like waffle stomp those nugs down the drain. What? Okay. All right. Fine.
Chat,
that was
send help.
Too...
Send help, please. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it, chat. I'm not gonna make it.
Really good.
I need, please.
I'm not even gonna drink.
Okay, all right. So I made it weird. I
don't know.
All right. So the real Baggins does ask the question though. Do you pee in the shower?
Sometimes the need is there.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, I mean you don't have to flush the toilet, right?
Yeah,
I mean you're saving over a gallon of water.
And it gets washed away instantly as well.
Exactly. Now,
Well,
like if go ahead.
Plus, urine is sterile at first. Now, see, urine isn't perfect because it's a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. But if you're in the shower, it's sterile, and then it rinses down. Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're not like showering with your significant other, and then you get the waterworks going, and that's. Well, no, I'm just saying it's not weird. Like if it's just you in the shower getting, fuck it, fine.
Well, it's always easier for males to do it though.
I can only imagine. Believe it or not, contrary to popular opinion, I've never been female before.
Although you were mistaken for one last weekend.
When I went down to Revs for his IRL PC building stream, I popped out of my car and I was getting stuff out the back of my car and then brushing out my hair because I had the windows down. It was a warm day, and I do. I carry my brush on me at all times, and I wear skinny jeans. And being 115 pounds, 120 pounds soaking wet. The lady next door to Rev's house thought that I was a woman and going into his house when his wife was away. I guess I don't know. There's something scandalous, I'm sure.
She was actually home, so but this is the way neighbors are. They're like, "Who's that? Who's that?" Ugh. And she did say as soon as you stepped up onto the porch and she got a better look at you because she was standing on her porch smoking and you stopped on the porch to vape. Maybe you thought you couldn't vape in my house or something. I don't know.
Well, no, I was texting you at that point to say, hey, Rev, I'm here. And then you said, oh, yeah, just come on in. So that's what I did.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, Phoenix Ryan finally showed up in chat.
There he is.
I asked Phoenix Ryan beforehand. I'm like, hey, Phoenix, would you please do me a favor and just copy-paste this into chat every once in a while? I was like, no problem, Rev, with his accent that I can't do. And
Me neither.
So, just so you know, so this next segment, MJ, is going to be Phoenix and D-Bach. And so they're probably just blah, 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 talking to each other.
That's all right.
So MJ, tell me what you did, like to get what got you into streaming. Rather, what was the impetus behind streaming as a first step endeavor? What was your motive?
Well, I was already going through a difficult time.
Okay.
It was like January 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I was doing my internship because I'm studying chemistry, the bachelor degree.
Okay.
I was like, I got ill, got exhausted. So 2 weeks before the end, I quit it because I had to go. Well, I couldn't really continue.
Okay.
So after a few weeks, nothing was improving. So we got to the doctor, did some blood tests, and it stated that my thyroid was working too slow.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And I couldn't really deal with it. So my mental state got worse and worse and worse.
I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah, nothing you can do about it, but it got worse. So I joined a few people that I already knew, and after a while they just backstabbed me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Probably because they couldn't deal with it. I'm just telling that myself, because I didn't really get a reason why. And a few of them were also streaming. So partially they also got me into streaming. Because they were streaming and it started all... It sounds a bit silly maybe, but it started all lonely again.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, why not start streaming and deal with my issues at the same time? So interact and learn new people.
For you, streaming then was an opportunity to help with the loneliness while also getting to make new friends. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And would you say that you have done that?
Yeah, well, yes, I did.
What better place to make friends than Team M, fam? Right?
There's so many friends to make. There's so many amazing people there, right?
After the new year, I had a break streaming for 4 months because my mental state got down again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then after I got back, I got brought into a team and learned the team members, and I gained the motivation again to start streaming again.
Good.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really fantastic. I every time I hear someone talk about, oh, I had to take a break, this or that, it's always like, oh, I can't imagine a time now where I would be forced to take an extended break from streaming. Like, it's just become such a part of my life that it's tough to even imagine. We do have to get wrapping up relatively soon, but Phoenix Ryan wants to know, if you could have any one game from E3 right now, what would it be?
Totally, to be honest, I haven't watched E3.
I haven't either. Can I ask you why?
Well, of course, it didn't really interest me. And I was like, well, all those games will be quite expensive. I can't afford them, so why should I watch?
Fair.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, for me, E3's always been like, they sit there and they're like, hype, build up all this hype. And then it's like, okay, and then sometimes you have to wait 9 months. You know, it's like, why did you just build all that hype up for this game that I now have to wait 9 months for? You know what I mean? Because they'll say, oh, coming, Christmas season of this year, but then it gets pushed back 3 more months. It's like, well,
Yeah, they're hyping it so much up, and usually also graphics they are showing then are much better and much smoother than it actually is in reality when the game is available.
What's the company that's really bad about that? Is that Ubisoft is really bad about doing that? They put out really fancy graphics and then the game doesn't look anything like the E3.
I don't know. I haven't found a lot of Ubisoft trailers all that appealing to me myself anyway, so I guess for me, I didn't care. But out of E3 though, I was pretty excited about the new Smash because Super Smash Bros. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you're sick of hearing it, but I actually like the game, okay? You're gonna have to deal.
I use what I call an E3 filter, which is I don't watch E3, I don't pay any attention to it. I wait until someone goes, dude, did you hear about blah, blah, blah at E3? And I go, no, tell me. And then that's how I find out.
Yeah, word of mouth. It was interesting when I was working at a video game store. That same word of mouth told me a lot about the games that I was trying to sell. So you learn a lot through other people's experience. It's pretty cool.
All right. Well, listen, I hate to do this, but we do have to wrap up. I wanna get. We've got a great clip montage, and we've got a great second segment between D-Bach and Phoenix Ryan. MJ, you're one of the most deserving streamers of the week, I personally know. I'm so happy that you got a chance to get out here and flaunt your stuff a little bit. Although you didn't twerk for us, we'll let it go this time. Is there anything you want to say, or anyone you'd like to shout out before we move on to the next segment?
I don't really know what to say or who to shout out because everybody is amazing.
So true. True.
Well, with that note, we're going to go ahead and kick it over to D-Bach and Phoenix Ryan after this clip montage. MJ, thank you so much. Everyone watching, if you are not already following this wonderful, beautiful man, please give MJ a follow. You can find him at twitch.tv/MJVP94. And I think your Twitter handle's the same, right? Your Twitter handle is also at MJVP94, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know, because I talked to you on Twitter.
I usually have the same on every platform, or at least try to.
There you go. All right, so check them out. You won't regret it. And stay tuned for the second segment, The Art of Talking to Yourself. Thank you very much, MJ. Coyote, we'll talk to you later, brother.
Yeah, thank you for having me as well.
All right.
Good to have you.
I lied to people this week, and it was tough, but I said we don't have a streamer of the week, but the fact of the matter is we do, and our streamer of the week is none other than Phoenix Ryan! Yay! TeamEmmmmsie streamer of the week, Phoenix Ryan, and congratulations, man. So now I'm gonna let these two chat at you for a little while.
He's like, you got me good. You got me. You got me. Like, I honestly had no idea. No idea at all.
Hopefully no one down there.
Oh, that's good idea. That's good idea. No coming.
Oh my god. I was muted, but I screamed. It scared the shit out of me.
This is a good face. Notice me, Senpai! Yes, Gaming Candy Bar, I am noticing you! I am noticing you, Gaming Candy Bar! You are noticed! You are noticed! Gaming Candy Bar! Oh. Ow. I'm okay!
And we've got with the biddies, 500 biddies. Ready? You ready? Come on, Rob. Big bouncing biddies. Whoop.
I lost my tongue because I was trying to do it at the same
Let's
time.
try ready. Right, so it's big bouncing biddies, big bouncing biddies. Whoop. Big bouncing biddies. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Big bouncing biddies. Big.
Okay.
Arthur, thank you so much for those videos and making us do the whole.
Oh, bugger. He will never find me. I am Goldilocks, master of disguise. Ah, wait, no! 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 Since when did he have to vow hope?
There you go. Dick pic. Dick Cheney. Oh no! Ren's showing a dick pic on stream. I'm the Elder Scrolls. Fear me. All right, I think that's enough. Go away, Dick. I don't want to. Dick, get out of here. I'm not kidding. Right now, mister. Right now. Go. Go. All the way. Not just the tip. No. Sorry. You know, dick pics can get out of control sometimes.
Oh. Not bad. Why just take it all out when you open it once?
What are you doing? Keep opening.
Oh!
Open button. For fuck's sake.
I got it. I was thinking like he's not taking anything out.
That's the killer.
Oh.
What is it? A flash.
I searched the chest.
Okay, be careful. Don't run because you'll alert us.
No, 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 no!
What is up, everybody?
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
How you doing, Debo?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you, brother?
I'm doing okay. Welcome, guys, to the art of talking to yourself. So I think because we didn't do the links in chat, I think Dostref was getting his revenge and just going, oh, by the way, you're live. It's fine. It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
Oh, man.
So, welcome to this segment. It's the art of talking to yourself. Now, something that I've noticed over the last few weeks, and obviously it's a thing, it's a problem that affects every single streamer when they start streaming, and sometimes it's just not a habit that we ever break out of, and that is that we're too quiet on stream. We get in front of the camera and all of a sudden we freeze up, or we're just there and we're just there without control. We're just like, yeah. You know, we're not actually doing anything to be engaging, you know? Please don't clip that. Please don't clip that.
I think you should clip it.
No. That was purely just for, you know, visual representation. Please, don't do it. So, you know, you go into channels and sometimes you see, you're doing it now. Jesus Christ. So, okay, I need to stop watching the stream and start watching you live because I'm commenting on something that you did like 20 seconds ago.
Dude, it's already in the past.
It's already in the past. Stop stealing my future, D-Buck. Because you know what I'm going to do 20 seconds from now. Right, back on topic. Right, the art of talking to oneself. It is a really important skill that everybody on Twitch needs to learn how to do. No matter how big or small you are, in order to engage with an audience, you've got to be able to communicate with them. And unless you've got grade A, absolutely top-notch gaming skills that you are showing off to the world, you've got to start getting vocal with your audience. Otherwise, they're not going to know what's going on. They're not going to know, okay, this guy's doing a creative stream. What's he drawing? What's he doing? What are the techniques he's doing? Or you're playing Rainbow Six Siege and you're not talking through why you're taking this route, and you're not reacting to anything. It's just like,
right.
Exactly. I mean, have you ever been in a situation, D-Bot, where you've just zoned out, you're playing the game, people have come and they've gone.
Right.
Before you've even realized that people were talking to you.
The number will go, you'll see your number go up. And then as soon as you try to start talking, you're already, you got to remember, you're already 30 seconds behind what they're already seeing. So by the time you talk, they're already gone. They're already gone.
Exactly.
I helped myself by doing this, by just kind of talking through in the game of what I'm playing. And I just pretend like somebody's watching, so that way I can just be like explaining myself on why I'm doing what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to go left, and I'm going to go in here because I may think that there's a chest in here. So we're going to go check this out. Meanwhile, there's nobody watching. But when somebody comes in, you know, they're already hearing this, and they're like, okay, he's explaining. But if you're going to come into a room, and as I've said before, I'm guilty of it. You come into a room, the streamer's just sitting there staring at their game, and just like you did, you're like, and you come in and like you try to say hello in the chat, and it's just nothing.
Yeah.
And you're just like, all right, I'm out. And that's what a lot of people don't realize happens if you're not talking to yourself, or you know, the chat.
Yeah.
People just come in and leave. They don't want to sit there and watch a mono stream, you know, a no talking stream. So,
and that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, I think it's fair to say that nobody here has 10,000 viewers in chat at any one time. So chat is not moving so fast that we can't read it and engage with what's going on. I mean, there are times, obviously, where chat does move rather quickly, and that's where you've got the help of mods. But I would say in 99% of cases, we should all be able to read chat and take it in, take the time to acknowledge chat, in whether that be with either reading it out, responding to that as in terms of a question being the chat, and then our response being the answer, or maybe in a joke, or whatever else. There's got to be a form of acknowledgement there. Otherwise, that person feels like, okay, I'm wasting my time. The key thing really is just getting comfortable with being in front of the camera. I mean, whether there's chat there or not, and I mean, this is the key thing that has been brought up in conversations I've seen over the last week or two, where it's been like, oh, I don't chat, I don't say anything unless people are talking to me. Whether you've been streaming for a week or a year, if you're not being engaging, people aren't going to feel obliged to engage with you.
Exactly. And Rev brings up a good point also. There's absolutely nothing wrong with pausing what you're playing and catching up on stream, or catching up on chat, I mean. Because there is going to be times where you're focused on your game. It just happens. I see myself in Factorio streams where I'm so focused on what I'm doing and what I'm building that the chat is just going and I'm not even paying attention. But you take the time, you're like, okay, I see this, but at the same time, you're also kind of talking yourself through your game, so that way the people don't feel like they're alone. Because like when I think it feels like I'm alone if I'm watching somebody streaming and they're not talking at all, to me or anybody else. I kind of feel like I'm alone just sitting there watching them because nobody's answering.
Yeah.
So just like,
I mean, it can be frustrating, and then periodically having a look at chat and nobody's typing anything. I think what in a lot of cases you kind of need to look back at. You need to flip the scenario and go, well, why is no one talking? Why is no one saying anything? And that is more than likely going to be answered with you're not being engaging enough.
Right.
And that you can't fix. You can't make people be active. However, you can give yourself the best chance of when somebody comes in, whether that be one person, 10 people, 100. You're giving yourself the best chance that they're going to stick around and they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to type instead of just going, nah.
And I feel the best way to do it is if you feel uncomfortable talking to yourself during a stream, the best way to not feel uncomfortable is to, as I found, like I said before, just talk through your game as if you're telling somebody how to play it. Basically, even if there's nobody in your stream, there's 0 people watching, talk about your game so that way you feel as if somebody is watching and you don't keep your mind on nobody's watching. You're just kind of like, all right, I'm going to run through here because of this, and then I'm going to go do this. Oh, man, this boss is crazy. He's going to be nuts. Meanwhile, your stream will be very full of audio and people being able to engage in what you're saying when they come in and watch. It also helps with your VODs. People will go back and watch your VODs if you're talking and you're cracking jokes and doing stuff, but nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to watch a silence VOD. Nobody. Like, if you're just sitting there staring at the game, nobody's going to watch it.
I run a rule of thumb because I check my own VODs quite frequently. I'm not that vain, okay? I do check my VODs regularly just for quality control.
See, I check your VODs just for the hair and the beard. Like,
thank you.
I just go back just so I could see all of its glory, on the screen. But anyway, proceed.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. No, I always check back through my own VODs, purely on a quality control type level. I look back and I will pick maybe 6 random, that's 5, and that's 6. There we go. I can count to 6. So 6 random timestamps if I'm doing, say, a 6-hour stream. And I will, for each one, I'll watch myself for 10 minutes. If I feel the urge to click off at any point, then that was not a good stream. I was not interesting enough to hold my attention. I feel bad for anybody else that came in and saw that.
Right.
And that's my rule of thumb. If I can entertain myself, I'm going to be entertaining to somebody else. And generally by doing that, there are different ways that you can keep that dead air out of your stream. Whether that's just by rambling, which is a technique that I tend to do. I tend to think of my sentences very, very not too far in the future. It's like the next 3 words, and that's about it. Which is why I talk quite slowly, because it gives me more time to think about what I'm doing. It buys me some time, and it's fine. It's fine. There's also singing to yourself, which is fine. I'm not doing it now. But sometimes I will make little songs out of things that I'm doing. You know, that's just random crap songs. Or sometimes I'll just be like, you know, I've got this song on the brain. I've been listening to a lot of Miracle of Sound lately, so I've been listening to a lot of the Dark Souls songs by Miracle of Sound, and that Warframe song. See, this is what I mean. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
If that doesn't work on your stream and somebody doesn't respond to that, move on to another subject. You know, if people aren't interested in what you were doing in terms of what music you were listening to, what you were playing, move on to the next thing. There's always a different topic. Talk about the game itself, like D-Bok was saying. Or you can do that in a different variety of ways. You've got different approaches. You can do it in a tutorial style. You can do it in a let's play style, similar to YouTube. You can do a very reactionary kind of reaction type way, where it's like, oh my God, look at that thing. But you know, you can do that.
And I think it's been brought up before too, that you could be yourself, but kind of amplify yourself during the stream. Like on a normal basis, I'll get scared playing a game, but because I'm by myself, I'll be like, oh God, you know, that was crazy. But like on stream, maybe just actually take it to the fact that there's people watching. So you're like, holy shit. And that way it keeps everything together. But like always be talking about something in your stream. And I see in chat we have Beefs15. He says that this is helping him, which I'm glad that it's helping him. Talos Deschain says that he's been doing it too, explaining the background and races in Mass Effect as if nobody's played it before.
Exactly.
This is exactly what we're talking about.
That's it.
Talk about stuff always. Just always be talking. And that way, when somebody comes in, they won't feel as if they need to leave because you're not paying attention. I think it's just one of those unwritten rules that if you see somebody talking in their stream, you're kind of like, all right, this guy's
doing something.
Yeah, doing something. He's got it going on. So always be talking about something. I know a lot of people say like talk in the mirror and stuff. Don't do none of that. Personal coming from, I don't do none of that because it's so awkward. I just keep talking. That's it.
I mean, like I said, there are a different variety of techniques you can use. I mean, you've touched on a couple there. I mean, you can, if you think it helps, talk in a mirror and practice. I know a few people that when they got started, they would write out a topic list of just like 10, 20 things that they would just look at whenever they ran out of ideas. It would be like, damn, okay, what can I talk about today? USB cables, hats, beard brushes. I'm literally looking at things on my desk right now, okay? Phones, keyboards that light up. You know, these are different things that you can talk about.
Anything. If you don't want to talk about the game, which is the easiest thing to talk about during the stream, but if you don't want to talk about the game, talk about your day. Talk about what happened at work. Talk about what happened at school. Talk about anything. Oh, I went to the store. So you're playing. You're like, oh man. So I went to the store and I ran into this person and it was just weird. You know, you don't have to be talking about anything as long as you're giving content to the stream instead of just sitting there looking like the clipped Phoenix clip.
Oh, that got clipped.
It did get clipped. And
that's going to get clipped too, isn't it? My reaction to that. Oh, God, my chair's all squeaky now. Great.
Yes. I hope somebody clips your reaction to that too.
No, they're not allowed. Stop it.
Oh man, that's great. That is great. So, is there anything else that you want to add, Phoenix? I'm pretty much shot out on.
I mean, the key thing is confidence. I mean, there is a saying, "Fake it until you make it," and I think when when it comes to being, whether you're going for a personality or whether you're just trying to be you, I think you've got to put the best part of you out there. In order to do that, you've got to be confident enough to be able to open up and be transparent to that audience that you have. So in order to do that, you've got to be able to talk to them. And I mean, I've always had issues with public speaking. Always. It's why I've got a stutter. But I manage that by just pushing through and just trying to give what I'm trying to put out, what I'm trying to say, the best that I can. And it comes, for the most part, I think most people kind of like it. I don't know.
Well, I just thought that you pushed through it by growing that glorious beard of yours and then showing it to the world. I think that's pretty much it. So, I mean, pretty much to take from this, talk in your streams. Don't just sit there and be silent in your streams. Just always be happy and talking. Talk about anything. Talk about your day. Talk about your game. But always be talking. And I think it's about that time to wrap it up. Phoenix. What do you think?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
We'll wrap this up. If anybody has any further questions or wants any help, my DMs are always open. So if you've got any questions, feel free to send myself, and I'm sure Debok as well.
Yep.
We'll be happy to receive any messages.
Find us on the TeamEmmsie Discord there. But I think we're just gonna throw it back to Stream Daddy Rev. Stream Daddy, go ahead and take it, buddy.
Take it away, Daddy.
Thank you very much. Hey, before I mute you guys, a very important question coming in from Soma Geek.
Okay.
Phoenix, what would be the pricing incentives to get a shave in on that beard?
A pricing incentive? Oh God, he's talking about the charity stuff I do. Okay. I'm gonna say if I can raise $5,000 in one stream during the marathon, if during my shift I raise a total of 5,000, then yes, I will shave it off.
He loves the glorious beard. That's what it is, Rev. He loves it so much, he doesn't want to take it off.
All right, thank you guys very much. Excellent topic. Thank you both very much. It is one of those things, one of those topics that really is important. And as I mentioned at the start of the stream, it is one of those things that comes up fairly often in the TeamEmmsie Discord. People ask that question, how do I get better at talking to myself? Or should I worry about talking to myself? You know, no one can tell you how to be you on your stream, and that's very important. But I think pretty much any streamer would agree it is important to keep a sense of a verbal communication going. You don't have to fill every moment of your stream. You don't have to fill every single second of dead air, but making sure that you are talking and keeping that conversation going. So that was a really great segment. I'm glad that we were able to give Phoenix and Debok that time to talk. And that's why you should, if you're new here, if you're new to the TeamEmmsie podcast, that's what you do during the second segment is we try to throw something out that will help benefit your stream or help get you more involved with TeamEmmsie or something like that. Now, on that note, I did bring this up at the start of the stream, start of the podcast, but I want to bring it up again. If you have a clip from your channel, from a fellow TeamEmmsie member, please share them in the Discord or direct message them directly to Phoenix. You know, there's so many clips going out every week, but you know, we need to get them to Phoenix and get them in a couple days before the podcast so he can have time to work them into those awesome montages. Also, I've got a little secret. You ready? We have a new segment coming up in the near future. We've brought on another member to the team who's going to be working on creating another pre-produced video segment, short video segment that I think you guys are going to enjoy. And Saitsu sends her regards. If you are a new member to TeamEmmsie, if you've recently joined TeamEmmsie, please get in touch with our membership leads and let them know. And if you want to pre-record a little introduction, SOTW does an amazing job putting those together, and we play them every Friday night on the podcast. So that does about wrap us up for the week. Special thanks to my hosts, Dbach1989, Phoenix Ryan, and Coyote Wildfire, and our awesome streamer of the week, MJVP94. I'm going to ask you guys, please stay tuned for just a few minutes, because as we do, we're going to go ahead and drop a big old raid bomb on a wonderful and deserving member of TeamEmmsie. With that note, I am DoseRev. You can find me at twitch.tv/DoseRev. I'm one of the leaders of the TeamEmmsie community. If you've got anything you'd like to say, if you've got anything that you'd like to share about the podcast, feel free to message me on Discord. On that note, we're going to get on out of here, and we hope to see you again next week. Take care of yourselves, guys. Love you.